if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare, but when I stopped to see through light, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now, to try to change into sunshine, to be someone among other. I've got
Oh, good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night. It is 7 p.m. and hot off the heels of Clash in Paris last night, it is the Locker Room Breakdown. I am OMD, joined as always by Bubba Duke, and returning for the second week in a row, the host of the Chris Parrish podcast, Mr. Chris Parrish. How are we doing, gentlemen?
If you paint me gold, then I'm doing a slightly better than that.
Right. I'm doing pretty good, man. Turn your thing so we can see it better.
You leave my thing out of this, and let's get back to the show.
Yeah, let's
All
get
right,
it on.
so we had a hell of a pay-per-view last night, or a premium live event.
Yes.
And all set for Raw, which did take place earlier this afternoon, but we have not yet seen it. We will be joining the Raw Patrol at 8 o'clock. So please, ladies and gentlemen, no spoilers. But last week, a very intriguing week in the build to last night's Clash in Paris. And right off the bat, we had Roman Reigns getting interrupted by Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed,
Yes.
leading to a very, very big beatdown.
Yeah, it's pretty much setting the stage of what that match can be in Clash in Paris, and that is just the old-fashioned brouhaha. It just shows you the importance. They wanted to rev up the intensity a little bit, and that's what they did throughout the night. But this was just that promo to get you going and to get you excited, because the one you acknowledge is on the broadcast.
That's right.
It was a free-for-all. I was waiting for Bronson to take more shoes. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
But
I think
you got a kick out of that, didn't you?
I did. I was encouraging Bronson to be like Nike and just do it.
Yeah.
But then we got into the action. Dragon Lee and JD McDonough, with Dragon Lee coming out on top. Bubba, your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see Dragon Lee getting some wins. Let's not forget the little bit of an interruption we had in this match with AJ Styles coming out and basically eliminating the factor of Dominic Mysterio, which I think was the reason Dragon Lee got the win, because there wasn't that interference. There wasn't that, as we call it, shenanigans happening with the other members of Judgment Day.
Yeah. Parrish.
Yeah, but in that same breath, it also served as a distraction for JD McDonough, and that took his eye off the ball, and that allowed Dragon Lee to remain focused, not have to worry about Judgment Day's distractions. And it really felt like, okay, the Judgment Day was one step behind here. Normally, the number game has lately worked to their advantage. So
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio, who's been very much wanting to showcase that he is the leader or can be the leader of the Judgment Day, kind of dropped the ball because he forgot about his phenomenal opponent that we will see this week. But yeah, Dragon Lee picks up the win. The match was fantastic. I would love to see more Dragon Lee and JD McDonough. They're two of the most amazing in-ring performers that I don't think get enough appreciation and love.
You're absolutely right. Finn Balor did get tossed early in the match as well, which also served as a distraction. We commented last week saying, it would be nice to actually get some airtime and TV time in an actual televised match for Dragon Lee rather than just main event. So great to see. But it seems with that, though, they're just sort of trying to spread out the LWO, and whether they're having them work together or whether that faction is now defunct.
Well, I mean, they're still together. It's just there's no immediate place for them as a faction. I mean, with Rey Mysterio still medically not clear to compete, and then there's no plan on using the tag team much farther than what they have in recent weeks. It really puts everybody in kind of a halt. But the one thing it does allow is WWE to use the LWO at AAA, which is where they've been kind of going a little bit more often now. So
Yeah.
I think Dragon Lee is just one who the brass at right now actually looks at value for the right now.
Right.
Which is fine. Which is good.
It is.
Because I feel that having the LWO going to AAA just gives them that much more time to hone their skills and if they need to rebrand themselves and just get over with the crowd again and get back to winning titles again, other than in AAA.
Right. Now, do we see in a couple of weeks, we are going to have another Worlds Collide where we know that Dom Mysterio is going to face El Hijo del Vikingo in the main event for the AAA Mega Championship. Do we see a team like the LWO go in to challenge for the tag titles, or do we see Los Garza take their rematch?
I believe, isn't Los Garza still the champions?
Yeah, they're still the AAA champions that I know of.
Los Garza lost them at Triple Mania to Psycho Clown and Pagano.
Right.
That's right, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I mean, you can do a triple threat.
Yeah.
And I do believe a Worlds Collide is coming back at some point. So there could be builds for that. But I mean, as it pertains to LWO, it's hard to say because it's a matter of where they fit. What WWE used to use NXT with, if there's not a plan for Raw or SmackDown, they would go to NXT. Now that's seemingly going to AAA, and that's seemingly kind of going to TNA sometimes too, a little bit. So I know, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's what happens when you have a lot of talent.
Yes. In a very, very intriguing match, and one that you called, again, Bubba, one of your favorites, Penta fought Kofi Kingston last week.
Yep.
With Kofi coming out on top thanks to Grayson Waller. Parrish, you were the one that called this. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it could go one or two ways. One was the obvious, and that's Penta going through the whole New Day with Grayson Waller. But then it should just end there because he ran the gauntlet, right? And he shuts up the entire group. But now it was the New Day and Grayson Waller who got the last laugh on Penta, and this allows now this whole thing to continue. We do know what that comes as. Adam Pearce did advertise a 6-man match with Grayson Waller, the New Day, and Penta. We'll get into it in the review part or the preview part, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind this. Kofi Kingston is one of the few people that have a pinfall victory over Penta now. My only thing is, I think I would have flipped him and Xavier Woods. And I know Xavier Woods has the whole thing with his neck and all that being there. I just see that there's more stock in Xavier Woods right now, or even Grayson Waller. And then this allows maybe one of the more right now guys to be the one who had that achievement. I just don't see where this goes for Kofi Kingston because he's, I think, just a tag team guy from here on out.
Right. Bubba.
Yeah, it was a good match. Again, everybody hit their spots, hit what they needed to hit, and like you said, Kofi Kingston just had Penta's number that night. I didn't see too much happening from the outside as far as like interference. Were they a distraction? Of course they are. There's two guys standing outside the ring on the opposite team of you. You're going to be a little kind of like your attention's going to be there as well as what's going on in the ring. So I can't wait to see where it goes from here because it keeps the New Day kind of relevant. And obviously Penta is getting that WWE experience by being in the ring.
Right. Yeah, Penta, there wasn't a lot of interference from Grayson Waller and Xavier Woods. Woods, of course, nursing that injured neck with that beautiful outfit with that matching neck brace.
Of course.
But it was Penta who really, he was the one that took the offense to them for no reason.
Again, like I said, you got two guys out there. You want to try to keep them out of it as much as possible, but to do that, you got to have some kind of offense to knock them down. And yeah, it takes your attention from the match.
I mean, you say no reason until they make a reason, and that's the thing. You want to prevent that from being a reason you lose. It just so happened that Penta got a little too ahead of himself, and what he thought was a good idea, which normally could be, ended up biting him and getting and backfiring and really getting him at the end. So not exactly what he wanted, but I mean, I don't blame Penta for, at least putting himself in the driver's seat.
Right.
Exactly right. He's trying to be the guy in control of the match with three guys out there. You're going to get distracted, like you said, and you're going to get too ahead of what you're thinking. And this is what happens. You lose the match.
Yeah. Up next, we did have Nikki Bella issuing the challenge for Clash in Paris to Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch coming out and accepting.
Yeah, because she knew it was an easy win.
Well, we covered this last night with the watch along in the PLE Patrol, and kind of like the match, I didn't think Nikki Bella stepped up the way I was hoping she would. Now, don't get me wrong, I've never been the world's biggest Nikki Bella fan, but I was hoping she was going to do more than what she did. Last week's segment really came off the heels of her getting absolutely cooked by Becky Lynch on the microphone, and she needed to respond. In fact, I think she needed to go personal on this one, and she didn't. In fact, a lot of her points didn't hit as much. Her biggest cooker of a line came from when she was still standing on the ramp, and then everything kind of went down. It's kind of like music, right? You make sure you hit your big hit at the end, not at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And, sadly, that's kind of what it was. It felt a little flat to me in terms of why Becky even said, I didn't feel any reason to why this should have been accepted other than, it was in the card. So,
right.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. It's a direction they wanted. I would have had the very least of maybe Nikki Bella actually hitting or getting an offensive maneuver on Becky. She leaves and she tells Pierce to make the match in a backstage segment. To me, I would have bought it a little bit better if that was the case.
100% agree with that. I understand hitting like a double off the ramp and coming down and keep hitting, and have your home run, like you said, at the end. Your big one at the end. But you drop that big one off the beginning, you better have something bigger than that saved for the end. Because that woman literally sold ice to the Eskimos, and I'm talking about Becky, on ripping you apart on the mic, and you had nothing in return. That looks really bad for someone who's a Hall of Famer. Like, you should be the one that's on top as far as mic goes and all that extras, if that makes sense, right? Like, to me, you should be a little bit better than somebody that's in the ring competing right now. So, I don't know. I wasn't happy with it. I was not. But I'm like you. I'm not a huge Nikki fan, and I was hoping for something bigger, if that makes any sense. Poor OMD's just having issues over there.
Literally, my computer just dropped me.
Nice. Well, you shouldn't be sitting on your computer anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Like, Nikki's never been great on the mic. I will give Brie far more credit on the mic. This was really just a clash of generations, a Hall of Famer to the future greatest of all time.
Yeah, easily. Sorry,
And
Parrish, go ahead.
yeah, even last night, it was nothing to write home about. It was Becky that made Nikki look better than she was.
Yeah.
I think move on.
Let's just move on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's move on to two women who can truly deliver: Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, and this match was awesome. I said it during the show last week that Rhea seems to have this chemistry with the smaller competitors. It's absolutely amazing. It's something that I've always critiqued Charlotte over, and now I'm seeing that improve. But Rhea always seemed to have it, whether it was Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, even Lyra Valkyria. Like, some of the smaller competitors, now we see it in Roxanne, they always have great matches. And no, it's not just because Rhea Ripley's in the ring. There is a dynamic and a chemistry that allow these matches to just completely take over and really get us synced in. So I really like this, despite the fact that it's still Rhea versus somebody in the Judgment Day, with Roxanne Perez so fresh in the Judgment Day, and Rhea was out of it before she was in. It didn't really give me that vibe. And I'm glad that we didn't see a lot of like Raquel Rodriguez involvement either, because I think that is kind of a closed chapter in my eyes.
100%. You are correct. Yes. I, like you, was very happy they kept this match as pure as possible without a whole lot of distractions from the outside, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's not just because, like you said, not just because Rhea is in the ring. She has a legit talent when it comes to working with someone smaller than her. And I know it's not easy working with someone that's a little shorter than you, or a lot shorter than you even, because a lot of the like collar elbow lockup is really awkward, and trying to pretend like this person's overpowering you. And in all reality, it looks like they shouldn't be able to, because you're just so much bigger. But the little person does have that advantage of being closer to the ground to push. So she makes it look really good. I love seeing what's her name now?
Roxanne?
Yeah, Miss Roxanne Perez in the ring, doing her thing and clicking as, like, to me, she looks like she's been on the main roster for years. She's come into the Judgment Day, has kind of taken her under their wing, but she looks like she's been there forever, which blows my mind, and how seamlessly she picked up that tag title and just continued with it like she's had it forever. Yeah. And that's impressive to me.
It is. I mean, Roxanne has had a phenomenal young career throughout not only her time in WWE, but Reality of Wrestling, Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
She has shown why she is truly the prodigy. And I mean, there's big things. I think, we've talked about Becky Lynch, and I think you give it 10 years after that, and you're going to be putting Roxanne Perez in the same conversation.
Yeah.
Post-match, there was the shenanigans as Raquel came in to beat down Rhea with the save made by Io Sky, even though there was a segment before the match where Io and Rhea said, okay, we need to go our separate ways so that I'm not upsetting my family.
Yeah, and
right, yeah.
it was also just a matter of Io, getting Rhea back for doing the same thing for her the week before. This is basically a thank you by action. And then the segment earlier was more Io trying to tell Rhea they needed to go their own ways, basically breaking up.
Right.
And then with that whole happening, it just soured the viewpoint of the Kabuki Warriors, especially Asuka, who, like, after this match, we saw another segment of, Rhea and her knee, and then we see Io there, and then Kabuki Warriors just don't want anything about it. Well, Asuka doesn't want anything about it, and then Kairi Sane's just there.
She's like stuck in the middle of this whole, because if we go back to the New Japan when these two were together, there's a very dynamic thing that happens in New Japan where the senior wrestlers take on what's called the junior wrestlers, take them under their wing and kind of show them. They become their mentor and their master, so to speak. So there's that dynamic, and they still, because Asian people are very much about the respect. You were this when we were over there, so you're still that to me. You're still my family. I'm trying to do what's right by you, but I also have this family here being Rhea. So it's kind of and she's like, I have to respect this person because I've known them longer. They've given me more. They've done more for me. So they tried to do that. But again, things happen, and friendship is friendship, and you're coming out to save your friend. You're not going to watch them get beat down.
Right.
So Asuka is mad.
Yes, and
So
we will cover the Kabuki Warriors coming up in the preview half of the show as well. Up next, former Bullet Club members, former Bullet Club leaders, AJ Styles and Finn Balor, with AJ coming out on top.
Yeah. Wow.
You could also ask former Intercontinental champions,
Yeah.
former heavyweight champions, former tag team champions, former best friends. Tear to my eye, but former two sweet commanders. But fantastic match. I mean, obviously, we're not going to come out here and argue what was Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. How can we? All they put on is something that you can just geek over the IWC about, because they're just going to go, oh, man, too sweet. Yeah, go, like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, from a, just a professional standpoint, from like, if I'm going to pick this apart, this is a match that you can actually teach the next generation on what to do and what not to do, because they put on a clinic and they just showed why they're two of the very best in ring and have been for well over a decade.
Again, I want more. I would love to see them have an actual, not a brawl, not a like full out fist fight, but I would love to see matches like this, because every time these two guys are going to get in the ring together, they're doing this. They're going to up the bar, right? So, and each match is, like you said, is going to be a clinic on how to wrestle and how to make wrestling look phenomenal, because they both have a high standard. So if they could give me more of these two guys in a little bit of a feud, take my money, take a paycheck. I would give you my firstborn, but she's too cute. Like I love watching these two great guys wrestle, and they're both Hall of Famers in their own rights.
I believe it's only the third time in the WWE that they have faced each other.
I think this is the second time that they faced each other this match.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time actually was by mistake. It was actually supposed to be Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail against the Demon Balor, and then Bray Wyatt could not go. I think I don't remember the reason, whether it was getting there was a sickness or it was travel, but then AJ Styles came in and had that match with the Demon Balor, Finn Balor. and him having that match. And I want to say AJ Styles was, I don't know if he was champion or he just lost the title, but I'm pretty sure that was the Demon Valor picking up the win there. So,
Ooh, so we're 1-1.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, these guys, like you said, this was a master class in wrestling.
Yeah.
And yeah, give me these two. We know that they've been former tag team partners. They actually teamed up initially with Liv Morgan to battle the Judgment Day when it was Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley.
I still think it was AJ Styles that forced Finn Balor into the Judgment Day. So full circle moment, maybe.
I can see it. But yes, a
Liv
complete
Morgan.
master class. Give me both of those guys again, and I would be a happy man.
Yeah.
Right.
Our main event of last week, Braun Breaker versus LA Knight. Braun Breaker coming out on top.
And what can you say about this match other than we know why it's there? We have LA Knight looking to get towards Seth Rollins and his World Heavyweight title along with Jey Uso, along with CM Punk. But in order to get to Seth Rollins, you got to go through Bronson Reed. You got to go through Braun Breaker. And that's just how it is. So with Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns having their thing at the beginning, with Roman Reigns going full swing, taking out Bronson Reed, then taking some shots at Braun Breaker before the match as they were on their way to the ring. And then LA Knight's is like, okay, pieces, I picked them up and I'm going to take Braun Breaker to the ring. And then now we're going to go. So this really got division tailing to begin. But I mean, we all know when they're back together and then when they're there, they can really set some damage. The only thing is, I don't think Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, or Braun Breaker at the time expected the people who came to help LA Knight to start really dividing in the ring. And that's what we got, because it was Roman Reigns who told Jey Uso to stop helping everyone.
Yeah.
Do things for yourself. And then he took the first shot after. And that was kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing the division in the three opponents of Seth Rollins after this match. But yeah, in the match, I mean, I kind of want to see this again. So if by chance you put a title on Braun Breaker or LA Knight, I'm into this.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that 100%, buddy. These four, well, there's six of them, really, if you look at it, because like you said, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. These, in any way you put these six men together, I'm for it, because it is going to be a all-out brawl for whatever title you throw in front of these guys. And again, they're the top guys, so you expect that. But the match was phenomenal. Shenanigans after was incredible. Didn't expect Jey Uso to do what he did first.
No.
Didn't expect that at all.
It was CM Punk and LA Knight in each other's face first. One got shoved into Jey. Jey then, of course, super kicks LA Knight. Looks like he's aligning with Punk and then drops him.
Yeah.
But he didn't look like he was going to.
No.
Well, and the beauty of it is Seth Rollins is watching this on the outside, preventing Braun Breaker from getting back in, because he's just like, go, 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 go. And this is kind of like when there is a milk bone in the ring and the dog just like wants to let loose because it smells food.
Yeah.
And then the owner's like, easy, boy, easy, pulls him back. And he's like, look, that's not the bone you want. I'm like, in fact, there's other dogs that are there hungrier right now. It's like, just wait.
Let them implode. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you saw. So you got that visual heading into Clash in Paris with the four, and they're like, okay, is this really a 3-on-1 that what on the outskirts looks like? Or was it really something that, Seth Rollins thought it was 3-on-1, but now all of a sudden it's truly 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
Right. 100%.
Right. Yeah. So, ladies and
Great
gentlemen,
match.
coming up momentarily, we do have our preview portion for Raw tonight. But first, let's see where you can find us and everything we've got coming up here.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And Mr. Parrish, would you like to tell them about our website?
Yeah, if everybody wants to go to turnbucklestudios.org, it is the official homepage for the Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. You can go and check out everyone who's a part of the program. You can check all the latest episodic shows. You can even contact us. But the one nice feature we have added is the ability to send in your credentials. Yeah, think of it like a resume, but it's our way of finding out what you can bring to us so we can look and see just what it is and see if you're a fit. So if that's the route you want to go, please respond, let us know, because we're really eager to add to the team and hope that we can grow just like everybody wants to do when it comes to content creation and podcasting.
Baba, do you want to tell them about our merch shop?
Why don't I just get the merch shop? These guys are crazy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, go to carlcarafelt.redbubble.com. You can get all our awesome logos, like this Boar's Nest logo you see here, and the Turnbuckle Studios logo. There's even a Turnbuckle Talk logo and the Chris Parrish podcast. That awesome shirt you see right there. And you can definitely get, in that far corner, the Locker Room logo. You can get on anything. You can get it on cups, t-shirts, sweaters, baseball caps, decals, stickers for your kid's favorite door. You can get it on anything and everything. Again, that is carlcarafelt.redbubble.com.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. And on to tonight. We have Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. What do we see?
Oh, man.
I see a wrestling match happening.
I feel they're going to get a lot more time and freedom than their first go around. Something tells me we're going to see as much of a clean fight as you can. Very much more than the first, because you have to think of it has to be different from the first, right? It has to be different from SummerSlam, all the BS that came from that match. There has to be something else that comes with this. So, okay, it feels very much like an AJ Styles win here. You're in France. We all know the last time AJ Styles was in France, the place was shaking. Energy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So now that AJ Styles is back to being a good guy, yay! I'm very intrigued to see what the France crowd thinks, and it's going to be a lot of fun to mix that with the fun-loving Dom Mysterio.
Right, Dirty Dom. Now, my question to you would be: so you see AJ? This is for the title, obviously.
This is for the title.
So you see AJ taking the title in France?
I never said he'd be taking the title. I never said he was
but
going
he's
to
going to
lose.
get the win.
I just think match is going to be a lot more down the middle than we anticipated.
Okay.
But I mean, my thing is if AJ Styles doesn't win, do we see a third? Because then it's 2-0 for Dom. If AJ Styles wins, I could see a third match down the road. So it'll be very intriguing to see which way they go. And then you
Okay.
also have to ask, Dom has Judgment Day. Do we see McKinyo? Do we see anybody from AAA coming down? And then you also have to ask, why is Dom always around El Grande Americano? And do we see chaos pursue? I'll let you guys now discuss this.
I mean, you do put forward some very good points. You do, because as much as we all want to see just a straight down the line, no interference, no shenanigans match between these two gentlemen, are we actually going to get that? More than likely, my opinion, more than likely, no, we are not. Because who knows who they have over there from AAA or who has flown in for tonight to kind of, because there is a huge match for the Mega Championship. Like if I was that opponent, I would try to be over there to mess with my opponent as much as possible, to get inside his head and all that. But at the same time, like you had brought up, where's the New Day going to be? Or not the New Day, sorry, the Judgment Day. Where are they going to be? Are they allowed at ringside? Or has Adam Pearce just said, you know what, I'm done with all the shenanigans that everybody's been doing? No. And then is that where El Grande Americano comes in, or one of the versions of this character? Because as we know, there's 3 of them now.
Yes.
Where's he fall into this? Because like you said, Dominic has been not mentoring him, but kind of bringing him into a little circle between them two. What kind of things have they been scheming? What's going? The end of that all is how is it going to affect the match? I hope it doesn't. I honestly want an honest win for AJ, because I would like to see this feud continue, because AJ is teaching Dom a lot. In the ring, outside the ring, because I know how Dom is. He likes to pick the brain of his opponent. He likes to be in their head. He likes to know what they're thinking, which gives him a bit of an advantage if you tell him certain things, or you just give him a bunch of BS and let him deal with that. But all that being said, I'm personally hoping for a straight up match. Nothing else happens until after the bell. After that, I don't care.
Right. I was going into this, and I've been saying for a while that this is AJ's win. Dom's going to drop the belt to take the belt at Worlds, to take the AAA Mega Championship at Worlds Collide.
Yes.
I'm going to look at it this way. If Vikingo is there to counter the shenanigans of 1 or 2 or the rest of the Judgment Day, I can see this becoming a champion versus champion title for title match. And then you bring Dom back to Raw with both belts. And it's a way to incorporate Vikingo into the Raw roster and acclimate him to the WWE style of things.
Yeah, I mean, I like that first half on title versus title, or at least champion versus champion kind of a thing. My only thing I don't think is going to happen is I don't think Vikingo is going to fully come over to Raw. From what I understand and have read, that AAA is going to still run like AAA. There's just going to be a lot more integration on Raw and SmackDown or NXT into AAA to help AAA grow and become more noticeable worldwide.
Yes.
I do think you're going to sprinkle some appearances on Raw and SmackDown. But I don't think we're going to get a full integration on that. But
right,
it'll be very intriguing because I do like the idea of the Intercontinental title versus the Mega Championship.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I've heard, to your point, Parrish, is actually that WWE wants to turn AAA more into a developmental, much like NXT UK was.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, like kind of like NXT Mexico or something
Yeah.
like that. There were
Yeah.
talks about doing the NXT everywheres before the pandemic.
was.
So
There
Yeah.
was.
And I've heard the Undertaker himself is head of something in AAA. I'm not sure if it's creative or something to, again, like you were saying, just to kind of get them that recognition to, hey, this is a legit company. You need to check them out.
yeah, I don't think he's been appointed anything. I think he's just been there at the shows, lending advice and helping out.
I mean, even that's better than,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He is a member of the creative team, but he is not the head.
yeah,
Okay, so
but
either way,
it was one of his ideas for WWE to actually go and purchase AAA as well
Yeah.
as start doing these joint shows.
yeah, that was his baby. Yeah.
But on continuing on with the preview, we get an update on Roman Reigns from last night.
yeah. And all we know that he went to the hospital. I almost want to say that's kind of all we're going to get is that medical update. I don't think we're going to get anything. I think the big story coming out of Clash in Paris right now is Becky Lynch joining the Vision.
Right.
Are we looking at something much further because of the comment Seth Rollins made to CM Punk and saying, I hate you. I hate your stupid family. Why did he involve his family when CM Punk doesn't really have a family in the business? That only means one person. We all know who that is. Is that where we're heading to?
Right.
But I think that's where we're going to go. And I think Seth Rollins, CM Punk, that's the main story coming out of it.
Right. Well,
yeah.
and that's our next spot is actually the Vision's momentum with Becky Lynch officially aligned now. What do we expect from the Vision tonight?
Total domination.
Yeah. The kicker is Paul Heyman going to be there?
Because he went to hospital too last night, eh?
And that's where I was getting at. He also went to the hospital. So if Paul Heyman's not there, that means Seth, Bronson, Braun, they're on their own. That means there's nobody holding the leash. Everyone is off leash tonight. Seth Rollins is, but we're okay with Seth Rollins because he's been doing this for his entire career. He also has Becky Lynch. He has someone he always listens to anyway. But Bronson and Braun Breaker, on the other hand, they'll be off leash. And this is what's going to be very interesting. So I'm curious to see if they're going to go and do anything. But with Seth, I really do believe we're just going to get more of a pickup with CM Punk.
But that being said about the whole leash thing about Bronson, Reed, and Braun Breaker, you got to remember though too, it's not just Paul Heyman that holds those leashes. Seth Rollins has an end of that too, because like we seen on last week's Monday night that Breaker wanted to go into that ring bad, and Seth went, no. This is not the time for you to go in there. They got that handled on beating each other up. Just let's go.
Well, and that's only because Paul Heyman doesn't physically get involved.
No, but at the same time, he still has the ability to be like, well, okay, boys, come on.
Yep.
But do they listen tonight because they're all fired up because of being kicked out of the building last night?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you. Things are going to be off the hinge with that group.
Yes.
Especially if Paul Heyman is not at Raw.
Now, yes, there is one match that is not actually here in my list for tonight, but we know about it. It is the War Raiders teaming with Penta to take on the New Day and Grayson Waller.
Yeah, that is in the description for the Raw Patrol tonight. But yeah,
the War Raiders?
The War Raiders.
We literally were just talking about where these guys are, what they've been up to, and now they show up. I wonder if people are watching our show, boys.
I mean, they should. I mean, This is Turnbuckle Studios. How dare you? No. Tell me if you know the movie from where I'm ripping that off. But no, it'll be fun. It's a good way to introduce the War Raiders back on our screen. It really does give Penta some really good help
Good
and
backup.
good assistance. And I think this would be the first time the War Raiders and New Day are in the ring since WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, eh? Yeah.
Or that time frame, I guess, because I don't know if War Raiders got a rematch. I'm sure they did, but
Yes.
Well, regardless, it's been a minute since we've
Yeah.
even seen them on TV, so
yeah.
I'm stoked.
Yes. We are also going to get an update on Stephanie Vicare's Women's Heavyweight Championship match and opponent tonight.
Yes.
Alrighty, yes.
And I'm very intrigued because, as I showed to you guys well in the AM, I saw reports that WWE is planning on Io versus Stephanie, which talked about it yesterday. So I think they are watching, by the way.
Yeah, I think they are.
And then with that same breath, also heard that a Rhea Asuka program is going in, which makes a lot of sense given how much Asuka's kind of getting in the face of Rhea. So if that's something, then once again, Kairi Sane is
Stuck in the middle.
stuck in the middle of everything. But if
That poor girl.
I'll just say this, if it is Io, hold on tight, people, because this is going to be a banger. But if it's not, who do you guys think?
I had the lady that her contract just came up in the Japan area. I can't remember her name, but I've been seeing a lot of stuff on her on social media about being like a free agent because she's not re-signing with the group that she was with over there. Can't remember if it was Noah or New. I think it was Noah. She's a really big Asian wrestler over there, like huge.
Masi Ito?
I think that was her. Yes. I heard that she's a possibility. And I'm kind of pulling because I've been doing a lot of like, the researches and watching some of her match. Holy dude, she would be a huge bonus for WWE to lock that contract down.
Right.
That's my thought.
For me, I'm going to go with somebody who hasn't had a real direction since she lost her Intercontinental title, and that being Lyra Valkyria.
Oh, that's a good thought too.
Yeah. That's who exactly I wish they would have just put as her opponent for Clash in Paris.
Yeah.
Boy, could we have used another women's match on that show.
I was
Right.
not happy about that.
Right. Speaking of that, we do have a women's tag match too, as we do have the Kabuki Warriors taking on Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez tonight.
That's so cool to see a tag match that has nothing to do with the titles.
Yeah. And it's also nice to see Kairi Sane back in a ring.
Back in a ring. Yeah.
Because we all know she was Liv Morgan's opponent when Liv Morgan got hurt. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to see her getting that opportunity to like go out and show herself because we're forgotten just how good and talented Kairi Sane is in the ring.
Yeah.
We see a lot of the segments, not to mention the Kabuki Warriors, a hell of a tag team. We know how good Roxanne and Raquel are. So I'm very excited for this match.
Yes.
I have a feeling we're going to get the Kabuki Warriors winning, but I don't know. Like, it just seems like there's more direction with Asuka than there is for anyone on
Right.
Judgment Day. So that's why I go there. So
This is going to harken back to something that I have suggested, and this takes away that Io Sky for the women's title, is we get the Kabuki Warriors win. Of course, we get the Judgment Day shenanigans, beating them down. Of course, you get Rhea and Io coming out to make the save, leading to that potential triple threat tag match. Or, of course, furthering the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io storyline.
yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a match. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with this. This is how you build that division. So thank you, WWE, for finally giving us something that doesn't necessarily need to be title related to be absolutely amazing to watch.
Yes. As well, other appearances, CM Punk, Jey Uso. You got to imagine LA Knight's going to be in there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So with that being said, gentlemen, thank you for joining me here. We do have to get on over to the Raw Patrol on the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube page. So, gentlemen, why don't you tell them where they can find you, and we'll start with you, Bubba.
Yeah, you can find me on the YouTube, Bubba Duke Show, and over on Twitchland, Boar's Nest. Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. I totally forgot what my own Twitch was.
That's not good. And somehow I have lost Chris Parrish's socials in here.
It's down near the bottom.
It's okay. You know where you can find me, everybody? You can find me on down here. I got it. Don't worry about it. Find me on my Linktree, or you can turn it off. That's okay. You can follow me on my Linktree at Chris Parrish. You can also check me out sometimes at Beercade YEG, located on 10544 82nd Avenue in Edmonton, Alberta. It is the home of a lot of AEW pay-per-views and WWE PLEs. They are the official sponsor of the Chris Parrish podcast, that you can find every Sunday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for me on the socials, once again, you can find me at my Linktree, linktr.ee/OMD show. Before we head on out of here, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we could really use your help.
A Turnbuckle Affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And ladies and gentlemen, that just about wraps it up for us here. You can catch us over in about 7 minutes time on the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube page with the Raw Patrol. For Bubba Duke, for Chris Parrish, I am OMD. From all of us here at the Locker Room Breakdown and Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.